coupled together, and but eventually, in those cases, that they understood. And ironically, in a couple of these examples, they had staff urologists, but they basically stopped at the discussion about the uncertainty of the weather, not the uncertainty of the impact. And so in some sense, not as a negative comment to my meteorological colleagues here, but even at an electric utility, they were not adequately trained to understand the uncertainty in their own businesses and operation. So again, it goes back to their communications with the stakeholders.
Yeah, sort of build on that. Most of the information users that I talk with are people who accept uncertainty as a part of their everyday lives and decisions. And if you talk to an emergency manager or a floodplain manager, or a project we've done recently is with airport snow plowing, you know, uncertainty is everywhere when they're making decisions. They just don't call it that, and they don't think about it the same way as scientists do. So if you ask them, how do you use uncertainty information, or what do you think about uncertainty, they'll just kind of stare at you sometimes. But really, they face uncertainty all the time, and from their perspective, the weather is just one small piece of that. So understanding that is key. I think in the work we do now, what we see is that people are getting information from a lot of different sources. They can not only now watch TV and talk to the National Weather Service or private sector meteorologists, they can also look on their phones and get 27, or be on Twitter or Facebook and get 27 different forecasts for any given thing. And in some of the situations that we've looked at, that actually complicates communicating uncertainty information, because they're essentially forming their own ensemble of forecasters. And based on how many agree about different things, they assess the uncertainty. And if you think about doing that with 27 probabilistic forecasts instead of single valued or bivariate forecasts, it becomes much more complicated. I think the decisions they make are also really complicated, and so this is where that translating the uncertainty into what is as close to the impact or their decision as possible really helps, because often, especially when an event is really close or happening, they're making a lot of decisions, and often life or death decisions that are very complicated, and they need the information that's as simple and as quick to interpret as possible so they can apply it directly to their decisions. In fact, this is something I was thinking about earlier, that we did focus, when we were talking about provision of information for emergency management, a lot on the pre-event phase. And once an event starts happening and things start going crazy, emergency managers are, coordinating response. And so we've talked to emergency managers after events where we'll go in, say, with the National Weather Service, and they'll say, we issued 47 flash flood emergencies, what did you think about that? And the emergency manager will say, once I started rescuing people, I didn't get a single forecast. Like, I had no idea what was happening. Maybe someone somewhere in my EOC was doing that, but basically they just respond to what's happening on the ground, and they look up every few hours and like, how long is it going to continue? So basically, unless in some situations when we've talked to people, they've characterized this as, if it's just going to be more of what I'm doing now, and you can't tell me exactly what I need to do and how to get ahead of it, then I'm just going to keep going. And when there's a change in what's going to happen, then that's what that information is important. So understanding kind of the different kinds of decisions and ways people are using information in different situations is important. And then, especially when they're in those situations where they need to make decisions quickly, to tailor that information as close to the decision as possible, because they already don't have enough time to do what they need to do, and they might just have 5 seconds to look up and say what's going on in the forecast, and to use that as quickly as possible, because there are just so many things they have to worry about that they don't have time to sit down and study a graphic for 10 or 15 minutes. In some cases they might, but often they just don't, because everyone's busy.
Yeah, close. Do you want something to add that?
So, I mean, just to answer part of your question, which is the role of universities, obviously a clear mission of the universities is to train the next generation of students. So there's a real opportunity here to focus our curriculum on these issues of uncertainty and communication. I think we're starting to see that. We're adjusting our curriculum to get more communication-based courses integrated into things, even in the sciences and engineering and so forth. So that's one area, beyond just the universities pushing the technology and some of the science.
I'd like to wrap up. First of all, I'd like to thank our panelists. They did a great job. Just to quickly summarize, I think I heard 3 words: communication, tailoring, and communication. And I think university has a role in all of those, including engaging with the emergency managers in terms of working on the tailoring with the user's needs in mind in particular. I think academia could have a role to bring people, and I think Brian and others have done this already, bringing people into a room. I think we find it very naturally getting people in a room. So I think academia could do more of that, probably. I think locally here, with the Musenet, we've had some experiences that Musenet data was out there and it wasn't being used until we actually met with the emergency managers. And well, it was two-way. We showed them what was possible, and then we would adapt it to their specific needs. It really needed a conversation. But also, just specifically to the Musenet, we're trying to get the National Weather Service people together with the Homeland Security people, together with the academics, and I think I'm excited about having those conversations. So I think we can hold those meetings and encourage those conversations. Okay, we're only a little bit late, and just thank you for coming, and enjoy your lunch.